What if every trait you've spent your life apologizing for, the quiet, the distance, the overthinking, the never feeling satisfied, what if none of that is a flaw? What if it's a fingerprint? Mine. I know you rehearsed your coffee order in line today and still felt your heart tick up when it was your turn. I know the 23 tabs you can't close because each one is a version of you. I know you leave every party about an hour before your body does. And no, this is not everyone. Most people will not find themselves on this list. You will, so keep score. 11 traits. I built every single one of them. Fair warning, number 8 is going to sting and number 11 is the one nobody says out loud. Count how many are yours. Trait 1. Your mind doesn't have an off switch. It has a dimmer, and the lowest I will ever set it is about 60%. People call it being stuck in your head. Wrong. It's a night shift. While everyone else powers down, you're replaying today's meeting, pre-playing tomorrow's conversation, and redesigning your entire life over a sink with one plate in it. Here's the thing. A Polish psychologist named Kazimierz Dabrowski spent his career on minds like yours, and he gave this a name. Intellectual overexcitability, an engine that idles high. More questions, more connections, more hunger to understand, running whether you asked for it or not, and he didn't file it under damage. He filed it under capacity. It's 1:47 in the morning. Every window on your street is dark except one, yours. You got up for water 20 minutes ago, and 4 new thoughts followed you to the kitchen, and not one of them will agree to wait until Thursday. You're not anxious about anything in particular. The machine just doesn't see why the lights should go off while there's this much left to run. You don't have racing thoughts. You have an engine that has never once met a road long enough. So tonight, when I spin up, write one line on paper, continued tomorrow, and turn off the light. I'll hate it. That's exactly how you'll know it's working. That's 1. Trait 2. You don't avoid people. You ration them. Everyone reads it as antisocial. Antisocial means you don't care. You care so hard it burns fuel. Every face read, every pause decoded, every joke checked twice before you let it leave you. One dinner in a loud room costs you what a full workday costs everyone else. And science already caught me doing it. In 2016, 2 researchers, one of them at the London School of Economics, found that for most people, more time with friends meant more life satisfaction. But among the most intelligent people in the study, the pattern flipped. More socializing tracked with less satisfaction. Not because those people hate anyone, because a mind that runs this hot has to cool down in silence, and I collect that fee every single time. So when you close your apartment door after a long dinner, and your back hits the wood, and you exhale like you just got away with something, that's not sadness, that's maintenance. Solitude isn't where you hide, it's where the engine cools. 2. Trait 3. You say about 1/10 of what you notice. At the dinner last Friday, you spoke maybe 2 full sentences, and you left with the entire table mapped. Who kept checking his phone under the tablecloth? Which couple arrived mid-argument? Whose laugh was doing overtime all night? 90 seconds in, you had the room. People think quiet means empty. Your quiet is the fullest thing in the building. I don't let much out because I am extremely busy taking everything in. Watchers make people nervous, right up until the day everyone needs the one person who actually saw what happened. 3. Trait 4. Your face is a closed door on a full house. You cried at a dog food commercial in 2021 and told absolutely no one. At that coworker's goodbye, you managed a handshake and a nod, then sat in the stairwell for 6 minutes. Dabrowski had a name for this one too. Emotional overexcitability. Feelings arrive at double volume, and you learned young that full volume startles people, so I installed a limiter. What shows on your face is about 1/3 of what's actually playing. You're not cold, you're soundproofed. Quick score check. Most people find 1, maybe 2 of themselves on lists like this. If you're already at 3 or 4, don't go anywhere. They get more specific from here. 4. Trait 5. Small talk starves you. Here's the thing. It's not that you can't do it. You did 4 full minutes about the weather at that barbecue, trophy stuff. But you walked home feeling emptier than before you went and you couldn't explain why. I can. Conversation is where a mind like yours eats, and the shallow end has no food in it. You live in the deep end. Why people do what they do. What time does to the people you love. Whether the life you're building is the one you'd choose twice. The others splash where their feet can touch. You tread water out where it's dark, waiting for one person, just one, to swim out and say, me too. You're not lonely because nobody's around. You're lonely at the exact depth where you live. You don't need more people. You need people who can swim to where you are. 5. Trait 6. You can say the 3 words most people choke on. I don't know, that sounds like weakness. It's the opposite. It's the tell of a mind that can see the edges of its own map. In 1999, 2 researchers, Kruger and Dunning, tested people, then asked them how they did. The worst performers averaged the 12th percentile and guessed they were at the 62nd. The best performers guessed low, because the same skill it takes to be right is the skill it takes to notice you might be wrong. The people who couldn't see their mistakes literally could not see them, and it came out of their mouths sounding like confidence. You're the other side of that graph. You see so much of the map that you can't unsee the blank patches. So while the loudest guy in the room underlines his answer twice, you're the one who says, I don't know yet, and then actually goes and finds out. The loudest certainty in the room is usually the least earned. 6. Trait 7. When the facts change, you change out loud. Last month you argued hard for a thing. Tuesday you read one paragraph that beat it fair, and you said the sentence almost nobody says, okay, I was wrong. Most people defend old opinions like furniture they already paid for. You'd rather be correct than consistent. It loses you arguments. It wins you a map that actually works. That's not flip-flopping, that's a mind that updates. 7. And I know what you're telling yourself right now, that this list is turning into a trophy case. 11 compliments for people who can't send an email. Stay. Number 8 is not a trophy. Trait 8. You stall hardest on the one thing you care about most. Everyone calls it laziness. Laziness is even. It avoids everything equally. You answered 31 emails today. You did the dishes. At 11 p.m. you alphabetized the spice rack. Meanwhile, the folder, the real one, the book, the business, the portfolio, the thing, hasn't been opened in 247 days. That's not lazy. That's targeted. Here's the thing, and researchers Sirois and Pychyl put it in writing in 2013, procrastination isn't a time problem, it's a mood problem. Trading tomorrow to feel a little better right now. You don't dodge the work. You dodge what the work might say about you. Because if you never fully try, there's no result to judge. So I stand guard in front of the one thing with your heart in it, and I keep you busy polishing everything that doesn't matter. Look at the scene. The kitchen is spotless. The inbox says 0, and the only thing you actually want is in storage, behind glass, with my rope around it. I told you the rope was protection. It isn't. It's storage. You don't stall because it doesn't matter. You stall because it's the only thing that does. So here's the dare. Tomorrow, 10 minutes, touch it. Badly, on purpose. Make it worse before you make it better. Because the rope was never attached to anything. 8. That one stung? It was supposed to. 3 left. Trait 9. You get bored at a speed that offends people. Slide 6 of 48 and he's reading them word for word. You solved the actual problem 4 minutes in. There are 41 minutes left. Your notepad margin is now a full city of doodles, and your jaw aches from staying shut. This isn't new. Almost a century ago, psychologist Leda Hollingworth studied the quickest young minds in school and wrote that children of 140 IQ waste half their time in an ordinary classroom, and above 170, practically all of it. The rooms were built for a different speed. Yours never stopped being one of those rooms. Boredom for you isn't a mood. It's the engine revving at a red light that never turns green. It's also why you quit hobbies at the exact moment you get decent at them. The mystery dies, and I need mystery the way lungs need air. 9. Trait 10. The doubt never fully goes away, and it's loudest right after good news. The email says they picked you, and before your chest can even finish lifting, I lean in. Read it again. Maybe it's a mistake. Maybe they meant a different name. Maybe they'll figure you out by Thursday. You have now reread that email 5 times, looking for the trap door. In 1978, 2 psychologists, Clance and Imes, studied high-achieving women and named what they kept finding the impostor phenomenon. Accomplished people privately convinced they'd fooled everyone, and it's been found in high achievers everywhere since. Notice who it targets, not the frauds. The fraud never worries he's a fraud. Worrying isn't in his toolkit. The worry shows up in the people who can see how much there is to know and how far the standard could still rise. Here's the thing about your doubt. It isn't proof you're behind. It's the tax on seeing the whole board. The doubt isn't a crack in the machine. It's the sound the machine makes while it calibrates. 10, 1 left. The one nobody says out loud. Trait 11. You felt like a guest your whole life. In classrooms, at jobs, In group photos where you're somehow always at the edge, half a step out of frame. Some days, at your own family's table, laughing half a second after everyone else because you were somewhere else entirely. Now look back down the list, because this one is just the other 10 wearing a coat, an engine that won't idle, a limiter on a storm, the deep end, a map with honest blanks. You process too much, feel too much, and see too much to fit rooms that were built for surface. Belonging is easy at the surface. You have never once lived there. Here's what I never told you. You were never on the outside because something's missing. You're on the outside the way a lighthouse is on the outside. Built past the edge of town on the rocks on purpose, because that is where it works. I don't run this hot in everyone. A machine like this is expensive. You've paid for it in sleep, in small talk, in folders you couldn't open. But it's the same machine that notices everything, updates honestly, feels at full depth, and builds entire worlds at 1:47 in the morning. You're not too much. You're running a machine most people never get the keys to. 11. So, final count. Out of 11, how many were yours? 1 to 3. You visit my world sometimes and you're welcome back anytime. 4 to 7. You live here. You've always lived here. 8 or more, you're not an overthinker with a few quirks. You're the full machine, and today is the first day you've seen the blueprints. Put your number in the comments. And if all 11 landed, type the word 11, capital letters, so the rest of the deep enders know they're not the only lighthouse on this coast. Save this for the next 1:47 a.m. We both know there will be one. And subscribe, because I'm the only narrator who will ever tell you the truth about me. Now get some sleep. We both know you won't.